Right. Ready to go?
Yeah.
Everyone excited?
As always.
Woohoo! It's Monday.
Fuck.
It's pissing down with rain.
Yeah.
It's cold.
Yeah.
There's a crane blocking our driveway.
Yeah. With a driver just asleep in there all morning.
Really? Getting paid £18 an hour?
Literally.
Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to another Monday board meeting. It's been a crazy couple of weeks. We did a board meeting last week, didn't we?
Yes.
But I don't remember it because I probably hadn't slept.
With Renan.
Oh, of course.
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, with the legend. What good geezer.
Legend.
Nice dude, wasn't he?
Yeah.
I should tell you what my favourite thing about Renan was. There was a million things that I thought was really cool, but I loved that Mo was like, you're going to get on with Luke. He's like, why? What's he like? He's like, just trust me, you're going to get on pretty well with Luke. I can imagine the conversation, and I can imagine someone like you said it, or you said it, like, yeah, man, he's an absolute top bloke. I'm so stoked for that last couple of weeks. Did I say hello?
Yeah.
Yeah. So all right. Sorry, it is Monday still.
It's
after
so
all,
Monday.
So don't expect.
It's a real Monday though.
Feels like
it feels
proper
like
Monday
a proper
today.
Monday feeling like.
It's because we had such a crazy week.
Yeah.
Like just.
It was dark as well when I woke
Yeah,
up this
the
morning.
weather, it feels autumnal like that.
Yeah.
Because we had a pretty balmy sort of couple of weeks of still weather, high pressure, sunshine.
No waves.
A couple of waves.
Yeah, I know, but like, as in like, have you not just fallen used to the fact we get waves every day, and then that was like
Pretty much.
that's the worst. Best flat spell or worst flat spell, depending on
Yeah,
what
it's
you
been
look at.
blessing me, to be fair.
Yeah,
Yeah.
exactly. With the injury, yeah, you've not missed a thing. I've been to the wave 2 times.
That's
in
when
like
you
2
know
weeks.
it's rough.
Yeah.
That's when you know
I
it's
didn't
really
surf this time. I couldn't do it to myself. I likened the wave. I've talked to Eli about it, and I was like, it's like McDonald's for you lot. He said, what do you mean? I was like, well, McDonald's is convenient. It's easy. It's kind of like exciting. You go there, you instantly feel guilty. You eat it, and you kind of wish you didn't. But you'll go again the next day if it's there. And like they've got the wave like less than an hour away.
Yeah.
Like for us at least, it's like a mission to get there, so we thin it out a bit. But it's like this feeling of just, it doesn't quite fill the surfing cup up, does it? It fills the novelty day up, but it doesn't feel the need for surfing. It's quite a...
I've only been once, and I don't have a kind of a desire to travel hours.
I went for my brother's birthday this year, and it was fun with like a group of people sort of messing around a bit. But like you said, for the actual surfing part.
And it is fun. I always feel like I always have to like backtrack myself from talking about the wave, like I'm like slacking it off. It is fun. It's just not like full on surfing. Well, I could try and list the things that it was missing, but I wouldn't know if that was actually why I don't quite connect with it. But I still enjoyed it, had a good time, met loads of good people. Shout out to everyone who said hello as well at the wave. Legends. I love like hearing it, like get people coming up saying that they love their boards or they love us. Nah, good session while there was no waves. Renan's never been on tour wave, so he was itching.
Is that really first time?
Yeah, that's why we went. It's like he wanted to go. It's a bit like what do you do with your relatives from another country, you know?
Yeah.
So he's had a pasty, click that off, you know, like gone beach bar. Then you got to take him the wave, I guess, if it's flat and there's whatever. It's just the right of surfing passage down the southwest.
Yeah.
We also surf Fistral a lot, Watergate, South Fistral. I haven't actually done a lot of surfing. I have been on that grind, filming loads, because we've been, we didn't do a great job of explaining who Renan was on the podcast, which is pretty cool because he was a guest on it. Basically, a professional surfer looking to qualify for the Challenger Series, which is the sort of feeder league to better waves, and then the WCT is the end goal. He was looking for a shaper, and Mo hooked up with him on LinkedIn. You know, just said congratulated him on a result, and they just started talking, and you know, one thing led to another, and he's in the UK.
I love the idea of Mo just stalking professional surfers.
Yeah.
Like, kind of like,
Yeah.
LinkedIn.
Got the job
Congratulations.
I mean, Mo's a frother, but he just knows good people.
Yeah.
I really like that about him, that he can kind of.
But he couldn't have known Renan was a good guy, like, when he did the initial, and he had like.
No, but I bet you he's probably said like congratulations to people before, like.
Oh yeah.
You know what I mean? Because I don't think it was like a complete cold call. I think they know people who know people who know each other. But yeah, the fact that like a few weeks later he's in the UK, willing to kind of get some boards off me and see what happens. So I worked my absolute bollocks off because we had, obviously as you lot know, we had busy weeks in the factory, and then we had the monster boards to get ready, and you know there was all the normal stuff that happens in the factory. But I made Renan a board, and he brought his boards over, and the idea was that we get a bit of feedback going and see what he liked, see what we could change, and go from there. But he got a couple of magic moments out of the board that I made him in his dimensions, and he rightly pointed out the things that I'd changed that I maybe shouldn't have changed, but that's what I thought he needed just from initially looking at his Instagram footage and the boards he was on. I thought, I'm going to make him a smaller board. I think his boards are too big. And he's like, bro, I know you've made the board too small. These are the good points, these are the bad points, but can we work within this realm of size? Because I've built my surfing on having that forgiveness and that stability in my boards, and I'm like, 100%. And when you surf with him live and you watch him surf your boards and other boards, and you start seeing the patterns, and we got to work straight away, and we went through, you know, the feelings he has versus the weaknesses, if you could call it that, in his surfing. Like I was saying, you know, some of the transitional stuff, like, because with surfboards, I guess you can get magic boards, but they're not really. They're just like, they're fitting this slot of that will make perfect sense if you break it down. At the expense of feeling good there, they might not feel good here, because you've either taken away control or added speed, or
always a compromise.
There's always going to be these compromises, but those happy compromises, you're in this grey area of this works, I guess. I told him the stuff that I wanted to change, and he told me the stuff he wanted to keep from my board and our Merrick, and we literally, with PU board, we kind of went in the middle, but with the increased rocker on the tail width and the rocker of the Merrick, and then we just made everything a bit smaller and a bit tighter, and then I put a tail on it that I thought would help just with a bit more release and flow. And then in the EPS board that he rides, he was riding the Flyer model from Merrick. That was closer to home for me. That was like, I mean, you're going to get a board off an English shaper, you'd like to think I'd be able to do a smaller, weaker wave board. Like, that would be like, so I felt like I was in a bit more of a safe place with that, and I could take a lot of stuff off of Luke Dillon's rock stuff. You know, I'm babbling on, but he was blown away by the EPS board that we made whilst he was here. You know, and the footage of him talk, like, you did an edit, and I don't like overkill. I like the fact that you don't say it.
When he came out to hug you, you actually looked a little bit kind of like, like sort of bashful almost, like kind of.
Yeah, you can't really pick it up from the footage, but I'm walking over to him with my head down, so he runs.
Yeah,
so
you were
I'm
ready
like,
for a fight.
yeah, I was like, wait, fuck me, right? Like, and he was buzzing.
Contact, physical contact. Fuck.
And
I'm English.
I got him saying all of this amazing stuff, and Joan put some of it in the edit, some of it we left out, because you get the vibe. You absolutely get the vibe.
Yeah.
And he really, really liked that board, and it continued to sort of surprise him throughout the week, and then we took it to the wave. You wait till you see the wave footage. I do not think anyone has been in that pool and battered in the wave. I'm sure they have, but like...
Is the concrete crumbling at the sides by the time it was like...
Jackson, my son, was surfing the right, and Renan was surfing the left, and Jackson said that when he was paddling back out, he saw
the spray
of the turn, and I was like, well, it probably was Renan, yeah, because he was just hammering it. I won't say I'm uncomfortable, but like not my strong point as a shaper, because I don't live in pumping waves, is doing a good wave, a shortboard, a high performance shortboard. But I used the same process, just hours of watching footage, going through it, making the changes, and interestingly enough, he said to me, like, I'm picking up on the same things his coach was picking up on, and I think that gave him
confidence that you knew what you were doing, yeah, or on the right path.
Yeah, and it's not even like know what I'm doing. I didn't. I could have done all of these things. This is what happens a lot of the time. You don't get to where you want to go the first board or the second board. You know, I say this as much as I can on camera. Like, you can, but that doesn't make you a better shaper. I think the good shaper is just trying. It's just trying and trying and trying. And like, you're gonna get there, but the quicker you get there, the more confidence that you can get.
I suppose,
in
but
the equipment.
You do know what you're doing in terms of the process, like not necessarily in terms of like the board, but you know that if you go through this process and both people are invested in the process, some good shit can come out of that. And I think from the outside,
I know my process is.
And he never had a process similar before, because it was his first time working with a shaper.
And the other thing, over the last few weeks of talking to people who have ordered boards off me, I think I said this last week, it had never actually dawned on me that isn't every shaper's process. That's how I thought you would do it. I don't understand how you shape a board for someone unless you haven't like
conversed,
a lot really understood their surfing. It's I can understand how I can sell a board to someone I don't know based on the research I've done with someone, because that's the choice they're making. And as a shaper, I have to sell products. So I'm going to sell you a product, and this is the story of that product. This is how we got to it. And then I can get that, but equally that person should come to a shaper if they really, really, really want to. They should come to a shaper, because that's the process I would do with them as well. You know, and sometimes you get your average surfers who they don't have as much footage, so the pro surf is almost easier in a weird way.
You get so much to work. You don't have to like read between the lines. I say,
yeah.
I could do this, and they're like, okay, so they're kind of at this level, not this level or wherever.
And you do also get with pro surfers, they've got a stronger opinion on their own surfing because they are confident in it as well. So that can be hard. So you're saying this, and they're like, hold on, but that scares me because of this, and like you probably are in a smaller margin for error, but it does feel a little bit more intuitive. But yeah, it's just given me a lot of confidence over the last couple of weeks. But it also solidified to me the ability that I can help them, my other team riders, from this, because it's given me a lot of confidence. Like Renan's taught me a lot. I don't get the chance to make boards for people outside of the UK with that level of talent, I guess, or whatever you'd call it, like stature in the competition. You know, I'm not interested in competition surfing. I'm interested in people, and if the person I'm working with is interested in comps, and now I'm interested in comps. That's how I've always been. So I've never wanted to get a CT guy. I've wanted my guys to be on CT.
From the outside looking in, from the first day, I remember you coming in frothing that you felt it was a relatively low-hanging fruit because it was a simple change. Then like halfway through, like both you and him, I remember having chats with separately, like when nobody else was kind of like in the room, like not questioning, but like kind of, well, that didn't quite work out. And you're like, you could see the sort of the vulnerability. It's not doubt, it's just like, you know, that kind of like,
have to be.
Like you're going out on a limb because you're promising you can make somebody a better board like for them, and like they're going out on a limb because their surfing they're investing time and energy, their surfing is potentially going to be detrimentally, you know, and they thinking, oh, do I have to go backwards in my surfing to go forward? So they're starting to question that whole process, like to then almost like, I think the other side of it where there was that like success. And I also think part of the emotion was also the relief that it had worked and that the progress was, and then from then on it just felt like every chat was just kicking on. And I think you realising, because you were frothing on like how to make bigger boards that had all the forgiveness of a vivid board, manoeuvre board, and you can hack it.
You remember what I was saying before? It's like, I think this is easy, boys. I think his boards are too big. And all I've got to do is make his boards a bit smaller, tighten everything up, and happy days. And to a degree, we've done those things, but not the way I
envisaged originally.
No, not at all. Something that I was really proud of was just to admit when something's working, rather than assuming that your input was needed to make it work.
Obviously, I've spent 15 years teaching design of some form or another. I've got a postgraduate in creative higher education, so like getting into the design theory, one of the things that I always used to try and work with, like, and it's so hard for students, designers to do, is at the beginning of the design process is to let go of what they think is about to happen. Like, because designers, I've done this 100 times, so straight away they go to design and they're like, in their head, they fast forwarded to the end product and they've got that picture in there.
And what chat did we have just before we got here?
Did we have this chat?
Yeah. So like, that was like, you just sometimes do have to. You just
let go, don't know what's happened, take each moment as they come, and the process, like where you end up, is often way better than you could have imagined, because what you imagined is based on what you know at the beginning, and the idea is that by the end of it you've learned something new basically, and you've got to be open to that.
No, it's really cool, and just, you know, more than anything, just meeting a good human, meeting someone who I can align with in values, meeting someone who hasn't had it easy, who, you know, similar sort of.
But also somebody that like came into a foreign environment and just added like a level of energy. I think for all of us, it was kind of like just added a little bit of we're on to something like a little injection of energy.
He lifted the whole of Fistral, and I don't think anyone wouldn't say that, and not in a over. Well, I don't even know how. Like, it's just energy, like
out of the
people wanted to surf better when he was in the water. Me and this guy are going to be mates. He went for a surf at Fistral, and he flipping surf. He didn't realise that the
Grom flags were out.
Yeah, the Grom flags were out. So he's surfing North Fistral with all these little kids getting in his way, in his mind. and one of the kids sort of like chucked their board and did duck dive, and it nearly hit Renan, and he had to like jump off, and he said, swore at the kid. He said, like, look after your fucking board. Realised what he'd done and was like, look, I'm really sorry, man. It's just like all come a bit of a shock. Didn't, you know, like I'm a pro surfer. I didn't want to be injured, and I overreacted. Then one of the dads got involved, and he basically got told off by 2 different sets of parents on the way in, and instead of being the guy who just carried on and like making his point, he's like, I'm sorry, I was out of order. I know I was.
But he hadn't realised he was doing like
the
it was
whole time.
completely,
The whole time he'd already sort of patched it up, but the whole time he didn't realise. As soon as we told him you were surfing in between the Gromnite flags, he's like, oh my fucking god. Walked over to all the kids on his own, spoke to the kids, frothed them all out on surfing, and then walked down to the Nuki board riders on his. Actually, I did come with him, but he asked.
Yeah.
Went and spoke to all the parents. And said he was sorry, and that's not how he wanted to carry himself. He's not what he wanted to do. And I just thought, man, that's so much
owning his shit.
He just fully owned it, yeah. And that's like that's pretty tough when you're kind of got that high energy. So like, I'm so excited to work on him with boards. I think he's going to surf our boards in his next comp.
When is his next comp?
His next comp is the same as the English, but I keep on getting the dates mixed up because of the GB
a couple of
Cup.
weeks.
Nah.
Week.
Next week.
Next week.
English starts next Wednesday.
Yeah, I'm just seeing what I've written down because I didn't want to forget because we haven't spoke. Well, I know you haven't surfed because you've got your foot's still knackered, which is shit. But you're going to the doctor today, and hopefully they can.
Well, hopefully get an X-ray. Yeah.
Yeah, just to see what's going on. But I know you have surfed.
A little bit.
But I feel like I should probably go on to the next thing really quickly, just to segue into it. But like, I care a lot about. The people that I make boards for and surfing in general, in the UK especially. And when we went to the wave, I had a conversation with Pat Landon Dark, who's the top. He's the captain. I don't know what else you'd call him. You know, he's young still, but he's like, I think he's one of the oldest in the GB squad, and he's had a tough year. And he's given me shit for what I've spoke about on this before. And I made the mistake of putting the camera in his face and tried to like engage in a bit of friendly banter, like, come on, what did I say then, Pat? Like, taking the piss. And I quickly realised I was being a dick because it actually really fucking got to him. It bothered him. You know, there's me on here, you know, flippantly talking about bad results that he's had when that's his fucking life. That's what he's doing. So I really apologise, Pat, that I did that and I acted that way. And, you know, again, I had to push my ego aside because he was quite rude to me, and you know, I initially wanted to spread him across the car park, but I knew I was in the wrong. Like, I knew that what he was saying was quite important. That if we're going to talk about it, we're the only ones talking about this stuff online, and you know, I know all of the guys watch this, and I asked one of the other guys as well, Stan, right? Why'd you watch it? He's like, because you're the only one talking about it. Like, what? We're going to not watch it? You're talking about us, like, so. I feel like it's really important that I make sure that I get facts right and I call things. I don't flippantly talk about bad results and then I don't talk about their good results as well, because the season hasn't been great for any of the Brits, but there has been some really, really good results. Alice Barton got second in one of the QSs in April, and if I say the name I'll get it wrong, but it was a big QS in April and she got a second place, and Stan Norman just got a phenomenal result in Pantin it was massive in 10 foot. We were watching it here, and obviously not on the GB squad, but a GB surfer, Lucas, won the Boardmaster. So we have had good results, and it's.
And to be fair, you frothed out on Lucas. I think you mentioned Stan Norman as well. Like
I have, but I want to, so I don't fully agree with everything Pat said. But my point is that him being defensive isn't what I wanted from him. I would want anything I say to make him growl into giving it more, not feeling like he's being attacked. That's my point. So I'm not. That's what I just wanted to clarify with him, or you know. So if I got the chance to, if this is where people are coming, like, it's mad because I don't feel like it is anything to do with GB surfing. It's just an opinion. It's just like us talking about football down the pub.
But to be fair to you, I reckon outside, other than say like pro surfers competing in GB, like, I don't know another person more invested in the like the UK competitive scene, who watches as much of it, is like who it puts as much energy in terms of I think you're perfectly entitled to be frustrated or like kind of be voicing your opinion.
There was from my side anyway. There was a respect. I'm listening to what he's saying. I'm not just arguing with him and putting him down because I don't really care. He can have an opinion of me. It literally sleep like a baby. It doesn't bother me. But that's the personality I have. I have a good ability to be pissed off for a bit, and then I don't hold grudges. But it's important. One thing that is important to me is that people know that if I'm saying anything, it comes from a place of wanting that thing to be right if I perceived it to be wrong. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah. So I've been there with these guys. I've been making boards for people in these situations for near on 20 years now, and I've seen tears and I've seen frustration. I've seen people mistreated. I've seen unfair judging calls. I've seen people with no support when they're at the peak of their career. I've seen all of these things. So I've got, from the perspective of a person...
And you've been following it for 20 years.
Huh?
And you've been on it for 20 years.
That's what I'm saying. I've been making their board. I've seen this shit. So, I've got a stronger opinion than most, and maybe a stronger opinion than I should have. But I don't care. I don't care if people say I shouldn't have an opinion. I have one. And it's pretty valid. I,
on the other hand, am completely clueless, so I just jump on whatever bandwagon you're fucking
doing. He chucked you under the bus a little bit, and I think that was me chucking you under the bus because you don't care, and you don't mean anything by anything you're saying. It's me invoking these conversations.
But I do have experience of like high performance environments in terms of sporting, business, the work. So it's kind of, when I hear you talking about it, it lends itself massively to my 30 years of experience playing kind of at almost international level rugby, big CEO for international kind of like building teams, the works, and you understand what works and what doesn't
captain,
work.
Exactly.
Yeah.
So captain. Man, mate, don't have to tell me. Maybe you have to tell Pat.
Next time
I'm sure you boys would just talk and get on. He's a decent enough bloke. It was just I was a bit shocked by it, and I basically wanted to apologise to Pat because I kind of put him on the spot, and then I'm not going to get angry at putting someone on the spot and then retaliating. I'm not going to get angry about that. That's my fault.
Joe, have you got anything you want to add?
No. see you in a heat, Pat. Yeah. But it did make me start thinking about how new GB surfing, what it is. They've just got funding. They've set up a team. The athletes are all young because athletes tend to be young. They're in a developmental stage, which means they're not expected to win the Olympics, but they're expected to start the journey of being someone who could eventually win the Olympics. So they've got young coaches, and I think they've got quite young management as far as if it's the names I know of. They're all certainly younger than me. It's young, and I think it will only get better. And I think if I could say anything, and anyone would listen or not, it doesn't really matter. But because I'll say it anyway, that one thing I think is they should talk a bit more about the real shit. So we've asked people to come on and talk to us about it, and they don't want to. They're worried to say stuff online because it's so new and so fresh. And I think someone already got sacked from GB for, I don't know what they got sacked for, but one of the coaches got sacked. So there's this eggshell, while it hasn't quite embedded into what it is. And I think that the athletes should be talking to the coaches about how they want to be coached. The coaches should be talking to the management about exactly how they want to coach. And I think that they should be less hierarchy and more let's be in it together at the start and create something real special. And I think the fact that you see, Pat was one agonising spot off getting on the Challenger Series last year. One spot. That's a 4 in a heat that he's had throughout the year. It's so close.
That's pre-GBT though.
Or 2 spots, maybe 2, because I think Renan was one spot. My point is, Pat and Renan were there last year. Now this year...
Pat for the last few years, actually.
Yeah, Pat's consistent. Now the year that he has the full GB setup where he's getting free boards, free coaching constantly, someone filming him, all these trips to, in theory, he should be getting better at surfing and getting more results, but he's not. And I think that it's because the way it's all set up is adding pressure, like negative pressure. No one's quite sure exactly where they sit. And what they have done, sorry, Mrs. miles down the road of the point. They've just appointed a guy called Mick Kane, who's a really, really experienced coach. And I don't know Mick Kane, but I know from reading about his reputation that he's been there, seen there, done that. And I think that's a really, really good addition to the team, just to slow the pace down a bit. He knows how it all works. He knows, he's going to have taken surfers with less talent and got them through heats. He's going to have taken surfers with loads of talent who don't know how to surf heats and got them winning. He's going to have seen it and done it all before, and that should give those guys a bit of time, like Luke Dillon especially, because Luke Dillon's a close friend of mine, and one, he's a phenomenal surfer, and two, he is a natural coach. If you're with somewhere with Luke, he's the calm guy. Does that make sense? Mm-hmm. He's the guy that's like, it's all right, just do this, just chill. Same when you play golf, same when you surf. He's naturally got their arm around someone before a heat and after a heat, regardless, even when he wasn't a coach. So he's gonna be a really good coach, and he knows what it feels like not to have support in those situations. So to be able to offer support now for him, I think is like, it's got all the makings. We've got the surfers who can get the results on those levels. And you've got everyone there who really, really wants to do it, and now you've got Mick Kane on with a bit of experience. I think I'd like to think that a couple of years teething problems, it's not a bad thing, is it?
It must be hard, like vulnerability or that lack of security, whether it be financial funding, what have you. You could argue that one thing, it undermines everything, or two, it kind of inspires everything. It's like if you don't embrace the pressure, it becomes overwhelming.
They should be taught through that though.
But the challenge is that like in any kind of organisation, energy tends to percolate from above down, basically. So
I don't know who's above.
We don't know, and they're welcome obviously to come on like kind of there. But if anxiety is felt at the top, it just manifests itself in the whole team, and it's like I've seen it sort of so many times. Not necessarily the anxiety, but just how energy manifests from the top down.
If your boss is panicking, you're panicking.
Yeah,
because
exactly.
Your boss is panicking.
Yeah.
So there's pressure, and then there's negative pressure, and I think pressure is quite a good thing.
Oh yeah. All
pressure,
about how you respond to it.
Yeah, but if you're...
I wouldn't get out of the bed in the morning if I didn't have a bit of pressure too. Do you know what I mean?
Well, yeah, exactly. None of us would. If you didn't feel hunger, you wouldn't try to go find food. Like there is. I would just say that there's probably a bit of negative pressure in the camp that
or just not knowing how to deal with the pressure.
Yeah, I mean, ultimately, as an athlete, you're gonna know that you need to get results if you're getting all of this help, but it's not just your fault if you're not getting the right help, is it?
Yeah.
Because then you've got all the pressure, plus you're not getting the help might actually be hindering. So like if they could iron that out, all of those little bits, and also, yes, you're going to need to step up from the athletes, but I think they're all prepared to. I mean, all you do is see them all like, well, they're all different. Like, Stan is one of those like uber talented guys, and he's willing to graft, but he will do it in a slightly different way to say like Pat and Alice, who are like always in the gym and like athlete kind of vibes, but they could all take a bit of each other's, and I don't think they do. I think it's quite secular, and it's
but it's what works for them, I guess. You don't have to generalise it.
No, but then all the help should be catered as well. In that way, you shouldn't just have to fit a box of an athlete, because some of the best athletes across any sport, outside looking in, you're like John Jones, never been beaten in a fight. Like he's out partying, like drunk driving, like just an absolute delinquent. And you got like, Georgie Best.
Well, just look at Andy and Kelly.
Exactly, Andy. Yeah.
Completely different.
Yeah. And surfing has those characters, so I think that if you spent a lot of time pretending to be an athlete, that's negative pressure if you aren't that guy. Equally, if you're being told what's important when it's not important to you, that's negative pressure.
I 90% agree with you. I think the one thing that is universal is bringing the intensity and learning how to bring your intensity to the fore. So if you're competing at the top level, you've got to be so dialed in. Both Kelly and Andy, completely different approaches. When they came to the fore, basically, they had that
time to go.
Exactly.
Yeah.
And you've got to, in your way, work out how you train that intensity, coach that intensity.
Just like a magic board, that isn't like everyone's so quick to be like, that's God given and you can't
No.
teach that. And it's like, no, you might not be able to teach it, but you can definitely learn it if you want it.
Yeah. So what was really interesting to me about Renan
I would just
was
love
that I thought Renan like had nurtured that in him. Like he surfed like he wanted. That's how he would compete surfing. So like.
Oh mate, the best footage of him.
So how many surfers kind of go in and they'll like, oh nice 2 hours, 3 hours, sort of like surfing, enjoying the waves, catching air, practicing your technique or what have you. Whereas he literally, you could see him get the energy, and when he went in there, he attacked the surf, and it was like I could imagine how he surfs normally is how he competes. Like there's not a huge difference. Like and so every day he's training that intensity, and now he's got the boards. It would like sort of, and I don't think he does have a coach, but it's.
No, he has a coach, but it's more technical, but
it's more he's worked out how to bring the energy, basically.
Yeah, you don't need to coach that guy in how to be a dog.
Yeah.
You might have to coach him in other areas. So, like, I mean, I just spoke to Russ at length the other day, and he said the same thing as I've heard from many a good person who wins heats. Same as Luke Dillon. They go in the water and they have heats with people. They put pressure on themselves, and maybe at the end they won't. You might let themselves have a little 10-minute free surf or whatever, or if they're trying something, they might not get out.
So this is every time they go in the water, they're creating that pressure on themselves.
Every
Absolutely.
time they go in the water, there's a purpose to it.
Yeah.
And there's that like self-drive that you know like, and you I know it's an old cliche, but like you can take a horse to water and it won't, you can't make it drink, but like some of the horses are just going to run to the water and jump in and they might drown.
Yeah.
So like. I feel like there is a.
Mate, you're getting too deep.
Yeah.
Yeah. So sorry, I started with that. But like, yeah, I just mean that there's probably a way to help.
Yes.
Probably haven't solved anything there, but anyway, just wanted to say sorry to Pat and good luck in the GB Cup, mate. Good luck to everyone in the GB Cup.
When is that? That's
next weekend.
This weekend coming.
Yes.
This weekend coming. So this will be out on Tuesday. It starts on Friday or Saturday.
And it'll be live streamed, I think.
Hope so. It'll be live streamed.
It normally is.
Yeah. So
GB Cup.
GB Cup on this weekend. The two winners are guaranteed a place at the ISA Worlds qualifying for the Olympics.
Being a complete coup. What is the deal with the GB Cup? There's not anybody can enter that, can they?
No, Wales put a team in, England put a team in,
Got you.
Scotland put a team in, and Channel Islands, I think, put a team in.
And is it generally, do you get the national champions from each nation sort of in their team?
So normally I think if you win, well for England at least, if you win the nationals, you're...
So who's in the England team?
Well, because we haven't run the English nationals
But
this
you have
year.
the nationals after the GB
They just
Cup.
put in last year's.
Yeah.
Kind of like, is the best from that.
Yeah.
So, yeah.
Yeah.
That everybody enters. There aren't people kind of that you think, oh...
The Welsh team
No.
is pretty crazy.
Yeah.
It's Pat,
Eli Logan. Yeah.
Josie's obviously not here for it.
No, which is such a shame but she's got plenty of years. She's such a level head as well. That's what she said to me. She's like, I've got years to do those. And I was like, legend. I hope she does well in the Rip Curl Bomb search. I know she'll go out there and give it her all. I absolutely know it. She'll go down swinging at the very least, and hopefully her boards get there.
I ain't got to give him a call right after.
Yeah, because we lost our boards. We didn't. DHL, you're rubbish. But hopefully we can get her boards out to there, so she's got her freshies. But super excited for her over there, and that will be live streamed as well. The Rip Curl Grom Search European leg. The winner of that gets to go to the Rip Curl World, and then we got straight after the GB Cup. Annoyingly, but not annoyingly, because they've done all they can. Their nationals got cancelled due to rubbish forecast. So the English nationals are in midweek after the GB Cup, and then the following weekend you've got the Memorial Comp at Fistral, which is my favourite comp of the year. I'm in it. I'm competing.
Fuck yeah.
Yeah. What category?
In the Open. I'm too young for the old guys.
So
what is the old guys?
40s.
Is that you next year? Or
Yeah.
The year after?
Year after. Well, I'm 38 still, so I thought I was 39. It's so confusing. I'm pretty sure I told someone the other day I was nearly 40 because I was like, Yeah,
Do you know, it's around your late 30s that you lose any sense of actually how old you are. Yeah. There is a website where you can put your date of birth and it does tell you how old you are.
What a good website.
Yeah, I know. I paid
you the calculator. my dad thought he was 50 when he was 49.
That's pretty good. That's the way to do it, is to gain a year.
Yeah, he didn't know where he lost the year, which I thought was quite funny. Those are the comps, all 3 in a row. I did want to shout out the monster boards we did with Scove. So
sick.
If you're watching this now, you're too late. But basically, we were supposed to be down the Bucks National Surf Comp for the universities this weekend. Got cancelled because it was flat. And we were supposed to be doing some demo boards down there and some filming, and you had to sort of, your best send of the weekend is going to win the surfboard. So instead, the monster guys did the best send out of the water. And you had to send in your best send. So whether it was, jumping into the sea with no clothes on, or what, I don't know, sticking a monster sticker on a policeman and running off, or whatever. I don't know what everyone's done, but your best send of the weekend, you send it into, you DM the Monster Senders Club, and you put yourself in to win a replica board that we made Stan Norman with crazy artwork from Scove, digitally printed artwork. So just being with them guys was really fun, wasn't it, over the weekend?
Yeah, legend.
Do we know one yet? No.
No, because
I can't wait to see, actually.
Yeah, no one's seen because all the things are DM'd just in case it's dodgy.
Hopefully they will be dodgy.
Yeah, it will be released at 6 p.m. tonight. Who wins the board?
Oh shit.
Cool.
Yeah. So we'll post it on our socials. Who's won? But I tell you what, right? This is controversial because it's an energy drink. Monster Crew are like one of the sickest companies for surfing.
Yeah. Like
they're proper. They just they get it. Like they don't want athletes. They just want whoever you are.
Yeah.
And they want to have fun with you, and they want to be in your world, and they want to support that world. Morgan set us up. They were nice enough to take us for a meal afterwards. We literally battled to get the boards ready as well for the event. Did a load of video in the factory, and then Morgan messaged me after. He's like, "Dude, their energy down there sick. Got to do some more events." So I am going to pitch some events to him. Like we spoke about it already today, but like
been cultivating.
Yeah, I can't wait, and that's the people you need in surfing. Right, regardless of the fact that it's toxic, tastes lovely.
Why do they do one without the caffeine and the shit that gives me heart attacks? Because I do the flavors, even just the flavor you go, whoa, yeah, like gets you going, like kind of.
I don't know.
Pop. But anyway,
I don't know. It's just that's kind of they've always kept it pretty crazy and like toxic, but it's.
Do you know what? Like me saying like kind of being middle aged, like saying that Monster gives me is too powerful for me. It's probably it's a good advert.
Exactly. Yeah, you want it.
No.
I mean, the reality is most people who drink Monsters are builders, but they advertise. They do what they can with their money to support like surfing and skating and places that severely need money. Because a lot of the problem with our sports, although they're kind of fringe and kind of scary to do, and not loads of people can do them because they haven't got access to the sea or people can't swim, or it's quite niche in that respect. You also lose lots of money with gate. You can't gate a surfing event, So like that's where a lot of money in other sports comes from is eyes on it and live view. So people like Monster said, "Come on, let's do something. We can go and organise a sick event, and they're gonna help, and they've got the money to do it. So cannot wait for that. Really, really excited for that. Yeah. Boards wise,
we've got like a stack of XT boards. So I think we've picked out 4 which are going to be going online, which are like nice and that I think we think normal people can use and surf them. The problem with team boards is they tend to be toothpicks. Fortunately, Renan, he likes surfing bigger boards, so actually here's it going on. So we've got 2 Piers Channel Islands. One of them's pretty much new, hasn't been surfed.
Shall we go for it?
Yeah, go for it.
Maybe just shout out that all those second-hand boards are G-Man's boards. So if you're like 26, 27 litres short boards, we've got so many.
Yeah.
There will be a few people.
Yeah,
sure.
25 to 27 litre short boards, some of them really, really good condition. We've got them online, and if you don't take them, we're shipping them off to Sri Lanka. So
I think what we'll do is we'll post a general one, and I think all I'm going to go, so we're literally going to be selling whatever price, I think £125 and below. So there'll be boards on there for 50 quid, 70 quid. If you want to get and try out like a pro board, like I said, something in really good condition, we'll be posting that live. These we'll be putting online selling individually because they're more surfable to the everyday person.
Yeah.
And that one's in pretty much brand new nick.
Oh mate, he surfed it like once or twice, and it is 5'11", 19 1/8, 2 7/16, 29.5 litres.
So yeah.
The Almeric CI Pro, and interestingly enough, as a lot of the pros do nowadays with their good wave shortboards, round pin as well, it's stock glass job, stock blank. So it's not like a
Crazy
throwaway disposable board. There is the lightest heel mark you've ever seen, a brand new tail pad. So that will go online for 500.
No, not that much.
You don't reckon? How much is that in the shop?
700?
yeah,
Something
high
around that?
six,
Just under
maybe.
700?
It's a Merrick, Team Merrick.
You see them go on all the time.
Yeah.
It normally high 300s. Yeah, 395 we'll put it on for.
Yeah.
Yeah, good price.
Alright, there you
It's
go.
fucking pretty much new.
It is. I mean, there's some scratches. It's a great board in good condition. It just so happened he got a better one. And then he's got his Magic EPS epoxy flyer. More used condition, but still really, really good nick. You've got some footprints. He's had a couple of repairs, but we'll spray everything in, and you can actually see the repairs are tiny. Pretty meticulous with his boards. He really looks after them. It is 5'11", 19 3/8, 2 7/16, 29.7 litres. Swallowtail. Nice lightweight, but again, stock EPS glass job, so it's not going to fall apart on you. I was thinking like 350 for that. Yeah, just thought like with the team shapers and stuff, you bit of extra value. I guess everyone's too used to getting seconds just down the line, aren't they?
I thought this was part of our sales pitch. You were like, oh, it's got to be 350. And we're like, 295.
Yeah.
Like,
I thought, yeah, a board that's retailing at close to 800 quid with the epoxy, that's, I mean, for sure it's surfed, but it's not like knackered by any stretch of the imagination.
no, what they go
Jones
for.
going to have fun editing this, isn't he? Well, there's some boards for sale for about anywhere between 100 and 500 quid, whatever you want, yeah. Comp's done. Monster shout out because they're legends. Sorry, Pat. We love GB surfing. Good luck to everyone at the competitions. Renan's a legend. Our boards are sick. Everything's covered. That was my little run through on my list.
Nice.
Yeah.
Now down it.
I can't. It takes me like 4 days to drink one.
Yeah, literally.
That's a nice jumper, Joe.
Oh yeah.
Coming soon.
Plug.
Yeah. Made in Cornwall.
Yeah, they're nice.
Yeah.
Okay.
I mean, printed in Cornwall. I made it. Yeah, printed. I didn't actually make a hoodie, but Lottie has just sourced modal fabric to make us some,
Nice.
and they will be made in Cornwall. So anyway, babble over.